flour, water and yeast, dog food. Perfect recipe. So social media is full of trainers showing off their dogs, and that's great, I do it too. But what you have to understand is our dogs are human like every other dog, meaning they have flaws and weaknesses and little things that we have to work on. I'm going to show you how to work on something with your dog today if your dog has any kind of noise sensitivity. So I'm making some pizza dough here to make some pizza for the family later, and my dog is very noise sensitive, and I know that this mixer is going to upset him, okay? So I have his meal right behind that mountain of flour, and I'm going to give him his meal while I mix the dough so that he has a positive association with noise, and so that eventually he'll think that when I make pizza dough it means feeding time for him, and that's going to be a lot of fun for this dog. Let's start with a little bit of this. Go on up, my guy. This dog will eat anytime, anywhere. Okay. We'll let that take care of itself. Speeding it up. Now, if at all possible, you want to slow down how the dog eats so that the duration is longer, gives him more of a chance to get accustomed to things, right? You don't want it over in a flash because then the dog eats and it's gone, and then what's left to focus on is the noise. Maybe the dog sits there and fixates on the noise, or maybe the dog just goes into avoidance and leaves the room. So I'd like him to hang around. What a guy. All done. So here's a little bonus tip. I'm going to turn this off for a second. My dough is not nearly mixed. I want him to associate this starting up with food arriving. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Good. Whoa, you got greedy there. Okay, you see how that works? Timing creates association. So the mixer turns off. As soon as it starts, food arrives. Eventually the dog learns to look forward to, hey, when are you going to turn that mixer on again? I like that mixer. Something special and magical about when you mix pizza dough, Nick. Yeah. So I don't normally feed him up here, but it does work really well as a slow feeder. That's the bin where we store his food. And because of the grooved lines, because he eats like a vacuum cleaner, the grooved lines work really well. Otherwise, very often, just in his puppy pen, we'll give him his food over there, and I'll just portion it out in smaller amounts, and therefore he's not eating as quickly. Because every other type of slow feeder and snuffle mat and rug and every contraption out there, it's not going to slow down a dog with this much drive. So now we're in between feedings. I've got a little bit left for him. Watch the dog. He's hunting for food. Okay, you see him? He's wondering if he missed any. He's wondering if he can get some more. Look at that. So the preoccupation is with the food and not with what's starting to look like dough. Okay, look at that. That's the face of, can we have a second, third, fourth, and eighth breakfast? Okay, that's what you want to see. So whether your dog is food motivated, whether your dog is toy motivated, whatever your dog values as a huge payout, as a huge reward, use that to raise your dog's threshold. Okay, let me turn that off so you can hear me a little better. Use it to raise your dog's threshold. What you want to do is help the dog. Help the dog overcome things. And we don't help the dog by soothing the dog and telling him everything's going to be okay and we're going to make it and don't worry, we're not going to get killed while this scary thing is going on. You want to help your dog through its own motivation, its own discovery. In other words, the dog wants to be here. Why does he want to be here? Because we've got food. His discovery, not mine telling him, you're going to be okay, you're going to be okay. Those of you that live with fearful dogs, you know this already. You're going to tell your dog it's going to be okay, okay, and the dog just gets more and more and more fearful, okay? So the dog has to discover for him or herself that nothing bad happens. I'm willing to hang around, I'm willing to put up with this because there's a payout for me. And then when the dog gets paid, the dog starts to associate the noise, the sight, the person, the object with the payout. And therefore we're changing the dog's perception from monster under the bed to a winning lotto ticket. So we'll do this one more time because his breakfast is almost done and I don't like making him wait. He looks pretty pitiful. Here. You're a very messy eater. What do you say, Who? What do you say? My guy. Good man. So quick follow-up here. Hooligan, what are you looking for? Okay. Quick follow-up. This is what we want to see. He's been hanging around because, okay, he's hoping there's more of this. Also my sparkling personality, but that's his big motivation in life is to eat. And now this is not a scary thing where it very likely would have been otherwise. This one's going to be unbelievable.